Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's April 17th, and I'm here to do a new Bitcoin analysis, and we'll also cover the oil markets as well as the equities markets today. And I'll also take a look at a quick few Forex trades. First order of business, all right, I really want to give you guys some exciting news. Number one, we have decided to change our community name from Cryptosomniac to the Alpha Trades. Number one, because we're not crypto-centric anymore, our Advantage members have seen over the last several weeks that we've opened up equities channels again, Forex channels, commodities such as oil, options. So not just crypto-centric, we want to expand into multiple markets, and we've been doing a pretty good job so far. You can see if you look at Forex side, we've been taking some pretty good trades over here. We crushed the dollar ZAR earlier this week, made about like 4,000 or 5,000 pips or something on it, as you can see. So, we're making a lot of strides in our community, and we want to actually still keep the core of Cryptosomniac, which is delivering good customer service, great content, and constant stream of communication, and making a lot of videos. Okay, so everything else is still pretty much the same. We're the same people, nothing has changed, but we just wanted to change up the name because Faisal and myself, Faisal being the equities analyst over here, we're actually trying to pivot the business in a way where we want to effectively create a better personality for our community, where people realize that this is the kind of content that they could expect. We want to be more organized in terms of its structure, where you could expect, certain days we'll talk about certain topics. We'll open up the videos in a certain way. So we're trying to develop structure, in that regard. And also on top of that, we're actually, aside from the video side, we're also trying to get into the written side. So if you look on the TradingView right here platform, okay, we've actually hired a writer, and he helps translate my analysis into written formats, basically like a transcription of my videos. And you can see these written analyses in here in TradingView. So if you go to tradingview.com, search for the Alpha Trades, okay, you could see the analyses that we put up. You would have actually gotten, two good shorting signals if you would have seen these two analyses right here, and you would have made some money on it. All right. Same thing with Medium. We're starting to write stories, and they're actually now being published on a publication on Medium. So, we're pretty happy about that. So again, the Alpha Trades, here's our new logo. So we're really excited, folks. We're really excited. And same thing with our Twitter. You can now search for us on Twitter, the Alpha Trades, _Alpha Trades is our handle. All right. So let's get to it. Okay. Let's get to the analysis. All right. First things first, on Twitter itself, yesterday we did see a pop in the futures markets of the SMP 500 E-mini futures. All right. So let's check that out. Right. So what the heck is going on over here? Okay. So first things first, as I've stated before, that I can't help it if the market itself is clearly disconnected from reality, right? Yesterday we saw somewhere close to another 5 million people, 5.2 million people unemployed. So that brings us around total to about 22 million people that have been unemployed. All right. And again, I think this is on my Twitter from yesterday. So, right there, that's about 14% of the nation's workforce. All right. This is a crazy number. And yet the market keeps consistently going up, right? Well, here's the thing, right? Remember, the market is always going to be irrational. It's going to do whatever the hell it wants to do, all right? But what we need to understand about the market is that there are clearly some fundamental things that are wrong in the economy. The real economy itself is still suffering because businesses are still, shut down. Even though Trump wanted to say yesterday that we're going to get businesses started back up again, it's going to be a slow rollout. Okay, if you expand too fast and you open too soon, you're effectively going to get these numbers to hike again. And by all means, the cases as well as the death count have not flattened. The whole flattening of the curve has not happened. In fact, we've seen in other countries, which have been examples, again, Wuhan seeing the second wave, Singapore seeing the second wave, Vietnam seeing something similar to the second wave. We've seen from those countries and cities that if you do open up too soon, if you don't take the proper precautions, you're going to see this thing increase again. Okay, all we've really done so far in terms of a curve is we've gone from parabolic to sort of something like this, you know. So like it's kind of increasing still, but it's not straight up parabolic anymore. So by no means in America have we flattened the curve, right? So that's the difference. So we want to be careful. And so I think that's one thing that pumped up the markets yesterday. If you see over here, we had a big, pop in the markets yesterday, right? And they've pretty much kind of just moved sideways for the remainder of the past 12 hours, 16 hours or so. Okay, same thing with Bitcoin, right? I mean, we made a nice pop yesterday with a short squeeze, pretty much moved sideways around this area. And guess what? That key area that we're still under is this yearly open, okay? So we're still under the yearly open, haven't really changed a whole lot, But I think the thing about Bitcoin right now is it's actually developing into somewhat of a pennant, maybe a bull flag, maybe even an ascending triangle, whatever you want to call it. And it's kind of tightening up. So you might see a breakout or a breakdown from it soon. I'm not saying it has to break to the upside because I still believe that there's a lot of resistance to the upside because of the yearly open right here, because of this previous consolidation having this base right here, which is now resistance. Okay, so Bitcoin has a lot to get through. Just remember that. Okay, but one positive sign if you're a bull, all right, this trend line that we had for the last several weeks, you can see, right? We've actually broken out of it, okay, on several hours, okay? So it's not just, one breach of 1 hour. It's been about a good 6, 12, 18, 24 hours or so that we've actually spent time outside of this particular trend line, okay? But if we look on the SMP Futures, right, here's something that I see, okay? We see something like this kind of being created, maybe something like a wedge, you can see, right? It's the price action, I mean, obviously tightening up, okay? There's no denying that. And on top of that, I thought this was kind of interesting is, we're seeing somewhat of a divergence here, all right? So there's your divergence, right? Price is moving up higher. The RSI is pretty much topped off and moving into lower highs. Okay, so bearish divergence, rising wedge, the economy is starting to spit out, bad numbers in terms of more unemployed. So this is, as I stated before, the dead cat bounces can last for a while. Okay, we even projected that if we go to the S&P 500 over here, the 618 fib right here could be that big, big golden pocket area that price, gets to and then potentially starts coming down. But again, I am not betting on, price coming down just because it's hitting a fib. I think that what's really going to make it roll over is that the real economy starts catching up. We start to realize that, the earnings from the banking side are starting to catch up. The earnings from other areas of the industry, whether it be retail, hotel, consumer driven areas, auto sales, all kinds of different, aspects of the economy are going to finally bring the next leg down. Okay. And I still do believe that we have another leg down. Doesn't mean it has to go down here, but it could very well be, maybe like a higher low like that, maybe a W bottom or something, so that's kind of what I'm banking on. Now, what am I doing in Bitcoin? Well, not really anything. One thing that we missed out on was we shorted right here perfectly. Some of our members took profit right here. I did not, unfortunately. This blew through overnight, and I forgot to set my stop just above this area right here, which I would have done. But I got out in profit right here, as you can see, just with like $100, like $100 move or so. Okay, so you can see right here, 71.65 entry, full exit of 7,085. Half of that I exited at 7,072. Okay, and that was when this trend line was slowly breaching. Okay, so had some good opportunities. Still walked out in profit, not as much as I would have liked, but then again, that's life, right? if you make a mistake and you forget to set stops where, key areas are not supposed to be touched, like over here, I would have set a stop right here, but I didn't. And because I didn't, I got punished for it with this, big move to the upside. So that's kind of what happens. Okay. So with that being said, let me see if I can dive into the futures markets as well. Okay. So again, futures markets, like we said, they jumped up a good amount from yesterday, right? 3% or 2% across the board on all the indices right here. Let's look at the global markets. Okay, global markets are also looking pretty healthy, all green across the board actually. Okay, so I think all markets sort of started to pop because I think the governments across the board are starting to make the decision that they want to open their economies back up. Whether it be end of April, beginning of May. Some countries are a bit more aggressive that they want to keep it closed, or fairly tightly closed till June or July. So I don't know what's going to be the right answer, right? I don't know if we're going to be seeing a second wave or this is it. And, now we're going to find the rhythm in the market and try to figure out when we can get back into long positions. Okay. But until then, I still do believe that, in both markets, whether it be crypto or equities, I still think that there's a retrace, possibility at least. Okay. I don't see this, going straight up like a V-shaped recovery. It's very hard to believe that that's how it's going to be. I mean, I know markets can be rational, anything can happen, but this would be very irrational, given the amount of damage that's been done to the economy, as well as the amount of people that have actually lost money. Even now, if you look at, some hedge funds, right? Man Group, for example, redemptions after $10.7 billion of losses, right? This is actually the case for a lot of hedge funds and even the smartest people. I think Ray Dalio's fund, Bridgewater Associates, was also down about 10 to 15%, right? So a lot of funds across the board lost a lot of money. And yet, you could see the Fed pretty much, printing money like there's no tomorrow, right? So we're up to now about $6.4 trillion, in the Fed balance sheet, okay? So a significant amount of an increase that we've had, right? And obviously a lot of it handed to Wall Street, as you can see. I think the sad part about all this is, a lot of the money actually didn't really go to the people. I think I read a statistic that for every dollar that was handed out to companies and corporations, 3 pennies of that went to the American people. Okay, so that's literally, less than 0.3 or 0.03%, right? Which is really sad because people are the ones who are really suffering because they can't, pay for food or their bills or whatever. The $1,200 that the government is giving out doesn't really save the majority of Americans. Okay, so fact of the matter is, we're still, under key resistance, as you can see right there. Broken out of the trend line, of course, but on the daily chart, all we've really done is, actually, this is a better way to look at it. Let's take a look at this daily right here. If you look at this daily and move this up here, right, and you do something like this, actually, I guess that weekly is already covering it. So you can see this line that moves across 71.65, that's the yearly open. And this one right here, notice how this bullish candle smashed into this previous, body of the bodies of support right here, these 3 candles. And that's kind of the same thing that we've done right here, right? I haven't really done anything else that's special. All we've really done is move into this area and tested that as resistance, okay? And obviously we're still under, like I said, the yearly open, whether it's on the daily, hourly, 6-hourly time frame, all right? So anyway, that's pretty much all I have. I hope you guys come join Cryptosomniac. I'm sorry, I guess the name has changed now, right? The alpha trades, okay? So come join the alpha trades, folks. We still have our paid side. We still have our website up too. Nothing has changed in terms of that. We're gonna slowly start to transition and move that over too. But again, you can go to the products page right here, go to the Advantage membership, buy this, and you will then get access to our entire community where we now trade oil, equities, Forex, crypto, and I think we're going to start thinking soon about gold as well. So a lot of content coming your way. And again, currently the price, if you join before May 5th, is going to be 97 per month. All right. After that, it's going to be 125. So make sure you join before that, because you get grandfathered in and your price will not increase if you do join before May 5th, okay? So you'll get grandfathered in at 97 per month versus the 125 increase, all right? I think that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Again, go check out our Medium. Go check out our TradingView articles. Go check out our Twitter, the Alpha Trades, or join the Alpha Trades community right here in Discord. All right, y'all take care. Have a wonderful day, and keep your stops tight.